Okay.
All right.
So,
Okay.
all right, Kim.
Yeah. Hi.
Excited that we got to meet, and that is one of the coolest things about um, social media connections. It's like one of the
Right.
gifts is that we get to meet people we never in a million years would have met, I don't think.
No.
So, thanks for doing this. And you are here because a friend of yours thought you were a super mom and nominated you so we could talk. And so, the whole point of this, to catch everybody up to speed if someone's not listened, is just to provide 10 quick minutes to boost a mom today who needs a boost. So
Mhm.
someone who since COVID has like felt like they lost their stuff and they don't know how to get back on track, or maybe they think they're doing great most days and then other days they want to cry. This is for them.
Yeah.
It's for us. Because
No, for us.
I'm a million light years away from perfect at this, but I'm going to ask you a few questions, and hopefully you can share your wisdom, what you know, what you've learned. So, what's the age of your little one, and what stage of life, what season of school and life is she in?
Yeah. I have one daughter and she's 12. So she just started middle school this year. It's for sixth grade. And right now we're currently virtual. Not virtual, hybrid. We started out virtual, and about 2 weeks into that, the school system switched to an option of hybrid or virtual. We chose to go with hybrid for the moment.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's a tricky time to
It's a
be.
tricky time because on top of being adapting to virtual learning, she's going from being an elementary school student to a middle school student, which is just a totally different ball game. And so there's that learning curve
Yeah.
of becoming a different kind of student, which teachers right now just don't have the not the bandwidth, but the view to be able to really help kids along with that. And that's where we're seeing a lot of the struggle.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're a business owner,
I
correct?
am.
Okay.
Mhm.
So what's your work environment right now? What's the skinny on your job?
Yeah. So I am a business owner. I'm a consultant to small businesses, supporting women in their leadership in their own businesses through marketing and communications consulting, which is fantastic and such a fabulous time for that. So right now, I've always worked from home, but now I have it with a daughter. So we've kind of set up our own areas. We have a third bedroom that is mine. I've converted to my space. So not only do I work out of there, I also like do yoga and meditate in there. It's just all
Nice.
mine. And then right down here, my dining room is my second office, it feels like. And that keeps me within earshot of her and where she's working. So sometimes I don't want to be upstairs for 8 hours or 5 or whatever it is and just not have familiarity with what she's doing or where she's at. So we come down here.
Okay. So you got a good
Yeah.
little setup. You're adapting. So
Yeah,
what's
a little adoption that way.
yeah. So what's the most, I mean, we'll not pretend this isn't hard to make all these changes to our lifestyle. What's the most challenging thing you think has happened, or the biggest challenge with being a mom in 2020 and parenting during the pandemic? What's the biggest challenge?
The challenge, I think, is the reprioritization, or what do we prioritize, right? Is it school? Is it health? We were just talking about that. Is it more important for your kid to accelerate in their sports or to stay home and be healthy, or not? Like, just prioritizing where to put your effort. And as a working mom, am I focusing on work? Am I focusing on, with my own business, on business growth? Or do I need to stop and spend a few hours helping my daughter sort out her school because she's having a hard time? So really trying to prioritize what's important, what isn't, has really, I think, been the greatest challenge when there's just so many more factors to consider.
Mm-hmm.
But with her, but also an opportunity with that is really learning about what's important, right? Which I keep coming down to is joy. It's really what feels good, really what it is. I mean, not that that means like sitting on the couch all day. Sometimes that feels good, but not forcing an issue, what feels right, what feels good. We need a lot of that right now.
That's really good. So figuring out what matters most, I think,
Yeah.
is what you're saying, and what brings
Yeah.
you the most joy.
Right. What's the bottom line? Like, what are we really trying to do? You know?
Yeah. Okay. I love
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
What's a thing? So you're like, okay, how do we prioritize? And you're trying to prioritize. What's one thing that you have let go of in 2020? One thing you're no longer prioritizing because of the pandemic?
You know, the expectations. I think there were so many expectations of moving forward, do this, go that. It was go, 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 go. For me, I had those expectations. You know, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're going to do softball, and we're going to do karate, and we're going to be really good in school, and we're going to keep it going. We're going to eat healthy and all that at a very high level. Like, I want to maximize all of it. And really letting go of those expectations, and still doing those things. It's important to eat healthy, right? But in a way that flows. You know, like I talked about like prioritization and what you know, what I'm doing with my daughter. And so like I'm teaching her, she gets up now and makes her own breakfast, you know, but sometimes it's mac and cheese, you know, or it's like a can of soup. Um, but I see it that I'm teaching her independence and how to care for herself. And when she's hungry, she eats, and how to make it. And we're getting to how to clean up after yourself, you know? So kind of picking and choosing, but really letting go of those like really high level expectations that I had, I think has been very valuable. Hard to do at first, you know, because I cling on to those a little bit as almost like identity. Um, but letting those go and really just again prioritizing what matters and staying in that space has been the easiest thing. Like, it's okay. Like, we're doing a good job. I am, we all are, you are, you know, it's okay. Yeah.
All right, that's a good one. Just
Okay.
expectations of all the things. Okay, so speaking to any mom now who feels like she's having a bad day today, or she's struggling in general to to do it and to do all of it and to do what's important. So what is your top tip for surviving parenting during COVID times? And maybe even what, would you have told yourself like back in March, like to prepare for this, or like at the start of it? Like what is the most important tip for survival?
That's a great question. I'd be like, always have chocolate. We do that. But with that is looking for these opportunities, to really be able to shift focus, because everything has changed so much. Those expectations, we don't have to hold on to them. So if we let those go and see where there's opportunity to focus on what really matters, and if we just go with that, it's okay, and be quiet, and go with, you know, at first when we all isolated because we had to, everything slowed down. And I appreciated that. And I heard from so many different families, you know, in my network, like, we all ate dinner together. When was the last time that happened? You know, or I just spent a whole Sunday with my family at home, you know, laughing in front of the TV. When have we ever done that? And there's such value in what really matters. And so if there was one thing, I think at the beginning was to really just go with that. Go, like, see that there's really opportunity to do what really is important to us, which again goes back to that joyful feeling. And it's going to be okay. And the more I've been able to do that, just the easier it's been. And also, like, these beautiful things have come out of it. Um, you know, we had a really great summer, me and my daughter. You know, I mean, plans got canceled and we couldn't travel and all the things we wanted to do. But, you know, it was a lot easier. She usually goes to camp every summer, all the time, every week. And there was none of that, you know, but she got to hang out, and we joined the community pool, and we had a pot of friends, and it was very sweet and nice, you know. And I don't know if we ever be able to have those like relaxing moments, you know. Yeah,
I'm guessing there was a lot of joy in that.
so much joy. There was, you know, I mean, there were moments. I remember one moment sitting at the pool, and her girlfriends were just like giggling. You know, the sun was starting to set, that like beautiful magic hour, and they're just being girls having a good time in the pool. And I was like, right, this is their summer, the summer before they go to middle school, which is a big deal. And they're having a good time. This is what this is what we want to do. This is what we should be doing. I was really probably more grateful for being able to notice that moment and see that they were able to have it than I ever would have been. I would have kind of maybe taken that for granted, because it would have been fit in, it would have been like fit in among all the other stuff. So I'd really like to be able to reorganize and just really see what matters. Yeah.
I really, really love that. And
Yeah.
thank you for sharing your experience.
Mhm.
And I think you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. You too.
We'll pay it forward and share
Yeah.
that with some other moms today who maybe also need to be told that they're doing great. And
Doing
I love
great.
that you're not having to fit things in, but you're finding a lot of joy. So anything else you want to add?
You can, yeah. I think that's it. I mean, I see women right now, we're shouldering the brunt of this, it feels like, between kids and work and figuring it out and the health of our families, um, and being able to really take a step back and see how we want to go about this, and what we want to do. There's just so much opportunity to change the way it is. Like, we can really just step up and take control of how we want to live our lives, how we want to raise our kids, how we want to go plant leaves. Yeah, I think that that's the one thing that I've really seen blossom out of this opportunity, even though it's hard. That's there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I hope this is
Oh,
to
oh
someone.
my gosh, thank you so much for having me, and talking a little bit about this. I know it's incredibly grateful to hear stories of other women who are going through, we're all going through it. Like, how are they doing it? It just becomes very real and very grounding, to hear it. Yeah.
The stories will keep us going.
I love that you're doing it. Yeah.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.